employee. The employee table I'm creating EMP ID is number, data type is number, and the name I'm maintaining as a string, and I'm specifying a date. Date I maintain as a string. So here there is no restriction. In the EMP ID also I can make it as a string. Nothing will harm. Okay, so here you're getting error, right? So database was not selected. So here select the database. So when the moment we select the database, schema will be by default public schema. Okay. Table is created. Now I'll try to insert the records. Insert into employee values, employee ID, employee name is and date I'll make it 36 2021. Okay, I'm inserting these records. 3 records is inserted. Select EMP ID from employee. If I want only employee ID column as data, so I'll get it only employee ID column. So if I want name also, you can make it a comma name. If I get 2 columns data. So if I want date columns also, you can keep date column. So what will happen if the employee table having some 500 columns? Then we have to specify 500 columns names. We should never use select star from EMP employee table. We should never use select star from. Okay. It is always recommendable to specify the column names. Okay. So this is less data, 3 columns data only. So you may want get the performance here. If the table having some billions and trillions of data, then only we can able to view the query execution, how much time it is taking before applying clustering, after applying the clustering, how much time it is taking. Okay, that variation you can see it. So now if I want to apply the clustering, alter table employee cluster by the bracket, you can specify it date. Okay, so if I execute it, so the statement executed successfully, which means the clustering is applied on table. So if I execute this select statement, so let's go and check the history. So I have already checked auto refresh. If I uncheck this checkbox, what will happen is every time whenever we execute the query, we have to refresh it. If you click on auto refresh, by default it will refresh it. So this is the first time execution, and after applying clustering, which means I have specified the clustering alter table, which means modification is happened. Alter is nothing but a modification. And this select query, how much time it is taking, here only you will get it. So this select statement is taking 216 milliseconds, and after applying clustering, and if I this is after applying employee, after applying, so 391 milliseconds, so 216 milliseconds to 391 milliseconds. Okay, query result is not okay, I have not re-executed it after applying the clustering. So after applying the clustering, if I execute it, and if I look for the history, see it is taking 94 milliseconds. After applying the clustering, if you execute the statement, it is taking 391 milliseconds. Okay, so this is the variation. So here you may not get the much variation here. So in if you work on a huge volume of data, during that time only you can find the huge variation. Okay, so here how we will get to know whether the clustering is applying for the table or not. Okay, so select system dollar, select system dollar clustering depth. So if you want to look for the clustering depth, you can use select system dollar clustering depth, and this is the scalar function. So this we will call it as scalar function. I'll tell you the types of functions available in Snowflake. Okay. Okay. So it is showing here. So here you may not get the much information. So if you apply the clustering information, so that you will get more details on that. Select system dollar clustering information. So if you click here, so you will get the detail. The total partitioning count is 1. The total constant partitioning count is 0. So here the constant partitioning is nothing but constant micro partition is nothing but micro partitions which are not overlapping each other. Such a micro partitions we will call it as constant micro partitions. So for constant micro partitions, always depth is 1. So here it is 0 because we don't have sufficient data. So average depth is 1.5. 0.0. Okay. The partitioning depth histodiagram you will get in detail. So ideally this is not at all required for us. This is how the system in the background, how the partitioning is happening. Okay. So I'll show you, I'll try to get the more data, how this clustering is behaving in the background. Okay. That I'll show you in detail. So if I execute, if I want to look whether the clustering is on or off. So for that, the automatic clustering, so I can say show tables like table name. Table name is employee. So if I execute this show tables like employee, so what will happen is here, if you scroll right side, the cluster by date column. Okay, and the database is DemoDB, the table name is employee, and the creation date, schema name is public, and what kind of it is a table. The number of rows are 3, the bytes, owner is system admin who created this table. Okay, I'll tell you the retention period what it is. Not now, you may get confused. Automatic clustering is on. Okay, so if you want to off the automatic clustering, so what you can do is alter table name is employee. Okay, suspend recluster. Okay, statement executed successfully. So if I want to show the tables, because we should know right whether the automatic clustering is off or on. Say the automatic clustering is off. Okay, so if I want to start it, then what we can do is alter table name, instead of here suspended, you can make it resume. Resume in the sense start. Okay, the automatic clustering is on. So even though if you apply the clustering, so if you want to switch off or switch on, we can perform this. Resume is automatic clustering start. Automatic off.
So when we perform the suspend action on the clustering, so
Yeah.
the micro partitioning will be reset to default or it will remain same?
So automatic micro partitioning will apply it, but in top of that, the clustering will not apply it if you suspend the clustering. Okay, so automatic partitioning will apply it by default. So in top of that, if you want to perform the clustering, so as we discussed, the clustering will define it and maintain the data in orderly, so that it will not apply it if you stop the clustering. Okay, so whenever you want to apply the clustering, then you just resume it. That's it. Clear? Any doubts?
Hello.
Yeah, yes, please.
Yeah. Actually, we applied in automatic cluster, right? So presently it is on, right? So for example,
Yeah.
already we add some data in that table. So
Mm,
after few days or next day, we add some more
mhm,
data. So
mhm.
that data also will automatically in cluster stage or
It will apply in cluster format in the background.
okay. So whatever
So
whatever
once
we
you
add
apply, yeah,
whatever
yeah,
we
yes,
added the new
please.
data, so that will
Mhm,
also in cluster stage or
mhm. So if the clustering is on,
hmm,
so then the new data, old data, everything will get realigned in the backend.
okay.
So if you switch off, which means if you suspended the clustering, if you don't want to work any clustering in the background, then if you execute this, then that it will become a default.
Okay.
Clear?
Clear.
Yeah. So as I said, it is not recommendable to apply the clustering on every table. So as we discussed, if the table having a huge volume of data, so when I say huge volume of data, some billions and trillions of data. So if I convert into the number of records, maybe in uh, 10,000 crores or above those many records, we will call it as billions and trillions of data. So ideally, no one they will go ahead for, no consumer won't look for the historical data. So the historical data when they will look is like so how the organization last 3 years or last 5 years, how their revenue or profit and how they are into the current market. So they want to look it, then they has to go and look for the historical data. So in the board members or the CEO, it is really difficult for the board members to look on each and every department where is the lag is happening, which means which department is slow and especially which side it is taking more time. So that it is really difficult for the board members to go and inquire about each and every department. So if they will look for the historical data and apply the algorithms in data scientist, we're having a machine learning algorithms. So by applying the algorithms using artificial intelligence, they will get the clear picture. By looking at the historical data, they will get to know where exactly it is taking more time and which department level, which stage level, which quarter level, which time they are doing mistakes. So those mistakes they will go and correct it, and in next quarter or upcoming year or upcoming half yearly, yearly, or next 2 years or next 5 years, they will be in this position. So we also hearing from the social media, right? So every organization they are saying the last year or last quarter this much we are earning. And some companies they will announce. So we are expecting some 1,000 crores profit, but we lost it. Which means they are not lost. They are expecting as per previous quarter how much they earned by comparing to the latest quarter revenue. It may reduce. They are expecting 1,000 crores, but they earned some 700 crores. 700 crores, which means they are not in last stage. They are still profitable, but they are not up to the mark. And some automobile industry says they are coming with higher automobile itself. They are defining the revolution concepts. Some electrical range they are getting one. Once you charge, you will get 1,000 kilometers, and the charge is taking maximum less than half an hour. So this concept, many companies is coming now, but it is not practically established till today. So they are doing some innovations. Based on their innovations, they are trying to predicting their achievements in the future. So this is how today our revenue is this. For tomorrow, this is the our expectation. So next 5 years, our company will grow like an exponential manner. We will we will reach to this much target. So those data is historical data. So this will not happens in a frequent basis. Every 3 months or not every 3 months, every 6 months once they will look for this kind of data. Okay. So those kind of historical data only we will apply the clustering, not for daily related data, daily related tables. Got it? Any doubts on this? No questions? I just got to know the notification from the institute. He is asking, requesting to everyone, please pay the fee. So whoever getting pay the fee, they will get the links from tomorrow onwards. So if anyone having any doubts, please connect to the institute number. He just messaged me. So if no questions, then we will close the session today. Then we will continue tomorrow. I hope everyone